It's Henry again, and this is my work in progress video for the Nia and Yoko Ganmen resin kits from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, the movie. And I'm just in the process of cleaning up some of these parts. And one thing I got asked recently on my resin tutorial is how I actually clean up the parts. Basically the same way you clean up a plastic kit. The only difference is usually you only have one or two little gates. So I just clip that off with the nippers. You got a file that down a little bit. Don't want to get too aggressive with it because, yeah, don't want to file away too much. And then just hit it with some sandpaper. These are just some sanding sponges that work really well. And then usually mold lines are more of an issue on resin kits than on plastic, so if you notice that there's a mold line going around the edge of the part, that'll be something you'll want to sand down. Sometimes you'll have to break out the file for mold lines, but not very often. Usually sandpaper will take care of those. And then I'll just go in with some finer grit sandpaper. This is 600. And usually 600 or 800 is what I finish off with. I don't bother going up to 1,000 or 1,500 or 2,000 unless I'm going to be doing a high gloss paint job, but I'm going to be doing a flat or semi-gloss top coat on these, so I think 600 or 800 will be fine. And just brush off the dust with old toothbrush, and there you go. That part's ready to go. And then just continue on with the rest of the parts. Oops. There we go. The casting quality on these two kits is actually really, really good. Very good casting quality. So, I've only noticed, I think, two tiny, tiny little bubble holes that I'm going to have to fill in. So, not a whole lot of cleanup to do on these at all. I forgot this little gate up here. There we go. Clean that up with a hobby knife. So I'm actually just finishing this up. These little shoulder shields are the last things I have to clean up on Nia's Ganmen. And I've already finished cleaning up Yoko's. I haven't drilled out any of the holes on this one yet. But anyway, I have done it on Yoko's. So we've got all these little, basically revoltic joints here, and that are going to go into it like this. So you're going to be able to get some really good flexibility out of these kits. There's the knee joint, really good knee bend. So looking forward to getting these put together. So I am pretty much done with all the airbrushing. In fact, I am done with all the airbrushing. And I'm just doing a little bit of hand brushing here. Just some tiny little details. Honestly, these shoes are the most hand brushing that I'm doing. And honestly, it's just because the pattern is so complex that I didn't feel like masking it, so I figured I'd just hand brush it. And I'm just using some enamel paint. I like hand brushing with enamels because they dry really slow, and that gives the paint more time to spread out and get smooth and even. And this is one of those parts where I'm having to like hold my breath whenever I do the really small details, so if I stop talking for a few seconds, that's why. But I'm going to go in and do these flame details with a small brush, and then do the larger areas with a flat brush. I'll probably just do 2 coats of this enamel paint. That should get me a nice solid uniform color. Alright, so now that I've got all the painting done, I did a little bit of masking as well. Wasn't a whole lot, just a few little detail parts like this. And a few things like Nia's torso here, blue and pink. And like the thighs there are kind of it's like basically black on the instruction manual, but I went with a really, really dark purple and then pink. And now I'm in the process of inking in the panel lines. Not doing an all-over wash because I'm not doing any weathering on these, so I'm just doing a quick little pin wash for the panel lines. A little bit of capillary action going on. Clean that up. And that's all there is to it. So this is actually going to end up being a relatively quick project because there's no decals with this, and I'm not doing any weathering, so after I do these panel lines, I'll be ready to top coat, and they'll be done. It's nice to have a quick, simple project like this after the last, I don't know, handful of kits that I've done have been pretty extensively weathered. So this is definitely a nice change of pace doing a clean build. Alrighty, so that is it. I was going to record final assembly, but final assembly was a little trickier than I anticipated it being. Namely, because of these joints that came with it. I think because they're not authentic, they're like third-party knockoff joints. They didn't fit quite as well as they were supposed to, so I had to go in with some super glue and just tighten up the joints on pretty much all of them, but everything still works, so all the mobility is still there, and I think they turned out pretty darn good. I didn't do any weathering or anything, so they're very, very clean. I don't usually do clean paint jobs, but I like the way they turned out. They look very action figure-like. So the gold came out really nice. I was happy with that. Also, the blue and green fade on Nia's hair turned out pretty cool as well. So, relatively happy with how these turned out. Just quick, simple little project, not too complicated, especially as far as the resin kits that go. These might be the two of the easiest resin kits I've ever done, despite the issue with the joints, but that eventually worked out fine. And yeah, also the ends, well, the sniper rifle looks really cool. Very, very large. It's taller than the Yoko mech itself, so really cool looking. And that does it for this project, I guess. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.